Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Comedy Cellar Football Show, live here on Tuesday, October 26, 2021. And of course, the Contender app, the Contender with a K, that gives you live sports talk and never plays any commercials. Download the app today on Android or iPhone. Well, it's a Halloween week, I guess, here, everywhere. I was going to say in the big city, but it's Halloween apparently everywhere. I don't really care for Halloween anymore, except that actually it's kind of annoying for me living in New York, and I try never to go down to the West Village where it's really crowded. Where that parade, that Halloween parade, used to be so awesome because nobody knew about it, and then everybody knows about it, and now it's become a thing, and then it's no fun anymore. But it used to just be for well, I guess can I still say it used to be for just gay people and transsexuals, and now if I say that, it sounds somehow racist. I don't know. That's what it used to, and you would go, and it was fun, and now it's I don't know. I don't know what to tell you anymore, but now it's just a scene down there, which I guess I'm just too old to be there. I don't know. I don't know what to say. So the point of the matter is, welcome to the show, everybody, and what a great way to start. And if you were watching football this week, of course, then you know. But before I start, let me just tell you that today's show is excellent. We have comedian Wendy Liebman, who will be coming up in about 15 minutes. And then at 7 o'clock or 4 o'clock West Coast time, we have the great Wayne Federman, who will be joining us, and we will be making the football picks at that point. So let me just go. I got to start. I just got to open with the Jets. The Jets, because I want to say they're my team, but I don't even watch them. I just watch the Red Zone channel. Of course, they never appear on the Red Zone channel. Said, hey, look, the Patriots are going to score again. So that was a really bad week. Zach Wilson is hurt. We have the number. You figure you have the number 2 pick, and you have a new coach who's awesome, and we will give away this year to see what's going on. And it's a huge mistake, I guess, because, no, it's not a mistake. It's just next year. We'll just put it this way. Next year, the first game, if they lose, everyone's out. And that's just the way it works. We're just giving up another year being like, well, what are you going to do? But to get the beat down from a Tom Brady-less Patriots team, that hurts. You want them to at least keep it close. We don't expect anybody to win, but you want it to keep it close. But to get the beat down, what was it, 54-12? It's completely not cool. Tom Brady doesn't play on the team anymore. It's supposed to be over, but it still lingers. The Patriots are horrible. We're going to get a beatdown from Buffalo, probably. The only team maybe we can beat is Miami, and if we don't beat them, it's just going to be really pathetic. And now Zach Wilson is out, and they have this new guy, Mike White. Who the hell is that guy? They just got Joe Flacco back, so maybe he can play, but he was already on the Jets 2 years ago, and he didn't do very good. And I was like, good, we had Joe Flacco. That'll be terrific, because Joe Flacco won a Super Bowl, and he's great. But he's turned out to be just, he doesn't have it anymore. He went to Denver. He was bad. Now he's back here. He's bad. You'd think he'd be good. I don't know what happened. I don't know what happens to these guys later where they just can't play anymore, like an Andy Dalton or whatever. And I guess you just, some people just aren't Tom Brady, and they don't stand the test of time, and they aren't going to play until they're 50. And that's unfortunately the way it is. For most of us, even Paul McCartney, didn't put it all together in his greatness once he got a little older. I mean, Tom Brady made a deal with the devil, and, I guess I guess someday he'll pay for it, but I don't think so. Speaking of Tom Brady, so this guy, as if it can get any better for this guy, he throws his 600th touchdown pass. I don't think it's ever been done before. He throws a 600 touchdown pass. He throws 4 touchdown passes a game, which is insane. Being almost my age, he throws his 600 touchdown pass caught by Mike Evans. I don't know if you heard about this. And Mike Evans gets the ball. He catches the ball and he gives it to a fan in the crowd. And then he didn't realize it was his 600th touchdown. And then somebody from the Bucs organization goes up to the fan and says, hey, we really need that ball back. And the guy is very kind. And he says, really? And they're like, yeah, we'll give you a free T-shirt. I mean, that's what they're pretty much offering. And he's like, fine. I mean, he was very nice. And so now then Tom Brady's on the thing like, oh, don't worry, we're going to take care of that guy. But as it turns out, this ball might be worth $600,000. So how are they going to take care of this guy unless they give him the value of the ball? And they're like, oh, and Tom Brady even says, he's like, no, we're going to give him some signed jerseys and, some swag. He's going to get a discount at the Bucks store. I mean, this is so uncool. I think they've made the deal with this guy already, and it's bad because you're never going to get the equivalent of what the ball is worth. So the question I put out to you today in the chat room is, first of all, let me just say this. If indeed you ever get a ball like that, whether it's a football, whether it's Jeter's 3,000th home run baseball, 3,000th hit, which turned out to be a home run, this guy too, right? Or, whatever it is, and you happen to get this magical thing, run away, take it and leave the stadium and never let them find you until you're ready to discuss terms. That's what I would have done. I would have gotten the ball. Thank you very much, Mr. Evans. And then when I realized it was the most important of all things, I would have run away. When I saw the guy come up, I would have left the stable. I would have told my friends and family. I would have told my friends and family to come with me so they can't find anybody. Come on, let's get out of here. And I would have run out of the stadium, which would have been hilarious because then what, security is going to follow you? You didn't do anything wrong. But then they're going to have to find you. They're going to have to come find you, which is hilarious. And you don't return the calls for a week. They're all sweating because nobody knows what's happening with that ball. And that's the fun way to have a good time with it. And then you can decide what you want to do. So the question we put into the chat room today, of course, is what would you ask for? You're not going to get $600,000. I mean, you would but are you a dick or do you like your team? Do you love Tom Brady? If you're a Buccaneers fan, you love Tom Brady. You want him to be happy. I mean, I don't, but I mean, he's already happy. So what do I get? I'm like, no, let me be happy for a little bit. I'm going to sell this thing. It's going to change my life around. 600,000 is a big deal for somebody like a regular Joe like myself, a regular Joe like Beetlejuice. What about a regular Joe like myself? So I think I would ask for not money. I think I would, you can ask for season tickets for life, but I don't think I'd want that. Me personally, I don't like going to the games. So I was thinking about this and I would ask for a suite. That they have at the stadium. And I would only say, all right, yeah, I'll take season tickets for whenever. But for 5 years, I was thinking about this all day today. I want a suite for 2 of the 8 games. You don't even have to give me a playoff game suite. But for 2 of the 8 games for 5 years, I want a suite where I can invite all my friends and family. I think that is a very fair deal. Because really what I wanted was a suite for every game for the rest of my life, because that might be worth $600,000. But that's what I want to do. But maybe this guy likes sitting with the crowd, not me. I'd prefer to be in the suite, have, everything catered. I mean, how much fun would that be? That seems worth it. But anything this guy gets, you get a discount at the store. That's not going to be, what is that? So he can buy more stuff so he can't sell it. I think they're giving him Mike Evans cleats. Okay. Big deal. I know Michael Jordan's shoes just went for like $1 million. This is Mike Evans. If you're giving Brady's cleats from when he threw the 600th touchdown pass, that's another story. But apparently that's not on the table. It's completely unacceptable, the whole thing. Also, I was also telling me the Falcons and the Dolphins game. If you remember correctly on this show, I said, boy, this is the shitbag game of the week. And was it ever? But the worst part is, if you bet the Falcons, you figure like, well, at least I got that right. You lost by half a point, as if it could be in any worse game. And it was at the very last minute that you lost. I'm just talking about, I didn't put any money on it or anything, but I'm just talking about like in a pool and stuff like that. To lose it, it's completely unacceptable. So that stuck. Also, that sucked. And also the Nets, the Brooklyn Nets had all these unvaccinated people protesting on Sunday, and I was supposed to go to the game on Monday, and I was like, I'm not going to that. I don't know what's going to happen. I don't want any trouble. And all these unvaccinated people, they protest. Now, nobody cares if you're going to protest, but then when you're trying to storm the arena, that's completely not fair. That's not nice to the people that have gotten vaccinated. They're playing by the rules. They're listening to the law. And it's really rude to do that to everyone else who got their tickets and is doing everything correctly to stall the game, to not let people in the stadium. That's not cool. See, when it affects Dave Juskow, then protesting is unacceptable. When Dave Juskow can't get his car out of the garage because you're protesting because I just so happened to park by Donald Trump's building, that I am against that. When you are protesting on the Brooklyn Bridge because Dave Juskow can't get his car over the bridge, I take umbrage to that. Anything that affects me, if you want to be unvaccinated, I don't care. But if it affects me, I got a problem with it. So McDonald's in 10 cities tomorrow, I believe, is striking. A couple of people are striking because they are protesting the handling of sexual harassment in general. I don't think it's a particular case. And I have a problem with this. As you know, I brought it up 3 weeks in a row. If this somehow affects the November 1st release of the McRib sandwich, Dave Juskow is going to be pretty pissed off. So you see what I'm talking about here. Anything that affects me, I'm very upset about. But if you want to do all that on your own time so it doesn't bother me, that's fine. And speaking of food, Marcy says I would ask for a lifetime season tickets and $10,000. Yeah, that seems fair. I heard they gave him season tickets and a Bitcoin, among other things. Well, yeah, they gave him season tickets, Brian, but I think they gave them to him for the rest of this season and next season. But I think you're right. A lifetime season tickets should be the right thing. That should be what you get, a lifetime subscription, I think. But I would ask for the box seats, the suites. And I think it's fair enough to just say twice out of the 8 games, or maybe possible 9, just twice. You're not trying to be greedy, but I like the suites. What's better than not having to deal with the elements? Although it's Tampa, so there are no elements. I mean, there's lightning all the time, apparently, but other than that, it seems like a pretty cool deal. I don't know. These are my thoughts, of course. And, speaking of which, I ordered Domino's again yesterday to watch Monday Night Football because I didn't go to the regular wing price because there was supposed to be a nor'easter of stuff. So I was afraid to leave the house. And I ordered Domino's, the wings, and they didn't put any sauce on it. And I'm like, you got to be kidding me. I don't even want Domino's wings, but what can I do? You're not going to put sauce on it? I get it, and I got to call them up. And then they bring me a bunch of sauce. And I'm like, thanks for nothing. And then I put it in a container, and I mixed it myself, and it was pretty good. But, it's just an annoyance when you open it up, and it's like, oh, my God, really? I got to call them, and there's going to be a whole nother thing? This is not good. Anyway, folks, let's start the show. We're going to take a little break, and then we are going to bring in our very good friend, Wendy Liebman. So we will see you in about 3 minutes. It's the Comedy Cellar Football Show, everybody. See you in a couple.
Okay. You know what is most troubling is that it took this long for this coaching staff to be like, hey, Landon Collins should probably be playing linebacker. Right. That is the scariest part about all of this. It's like we had to watch Landon Collins suck in the secondary for however many weeks, 6 weeks, until the coaching staff goes, yeah, maybe this guy does suck at this position. Maybe he should be a linebacker.
Right.
And then he does great. What? We're not paid to professionally evaluate these guys, and these guys are. Why are they not thinking of this stuff earlier? That's what's a little scary to me.
The DC Crossover Podcast.
But Rosario is a very interesting situation if you think about how he got to Atlanta. Last year, he received MVP votes in the American League. The year before that, he received American League Most Valuable Player votes as well. You're talking about a everyday player, more than an everyday player, kind of an integral part of the Minnesota Twins over the past several seasons. And if you look at the path of the Minnesota Twins of 2021, and you look at where Eddie Rosario is right now, I think you can make a case that Rosario may have been considered a glue player in that organization. But at the trading deadline, they moved Rosario to the Braves, which, by the way, Rosario was hurt. He didn't make his debut with the Braves until the latter part of August. The home run he hit, obviously, in Game 6 off of Walker Buehler turned out to be the difference in the clinching game for the Atlanta Braves. But you think of the value of some players, and I get it from an organizational standpoint. The Twins have to do what they can to save money. They have to be frugal with the way that they spend. If they're looking to make an addition, let's say, Jose Berrios, was a pitcher that had much value to them at the beginning of the season. I'm sure they're thinking about whether they could pony up the appropriate money to give him a contract extension. They're probably always looking to rob from Peter to pay Paul. They're looking at themselves as if they're at the head of a Ponzi scheme. They're taking the money that they have that they just robbed from the last group of people, and they're trying to give it to the group of people that have been waiting the longest, the Barrioses of the world.
Contending Baseball at thecontender.com.
Well, when you used to come to my office, it was like that, right?
Yes, especially it was exciting because I went into this office and there was real people with real jobs, and then you, this deep fool in the middle of it. I was like, how does this man get in this building?
It's the Comedy Cellar Football Show with Dave Juskow on The Contender. It's the Comedy Cellar Football Show with Dave Juskow on The Contender.
You're not going to believe this. This is the Comedy Cellar Football Show with Dave Juskow on The Contender. Hey-o! I guess you heard that a couple times. Yes, the Contender app. As you know, the Contender with a K. Especially if you're in Chicago or Washington, D.C., and those teams are just as bad as the Jets, unfortunately. I'm so sorry for everybody. Who doesn't like Chicago or D.C.? I'm all right with those towns. I'm okay with I'm trying to think of the town I hate, but I guess I hated Boston for a long time, but now I always root for the Red Sox, hating the Yankees very much. I was very upset that they're not in the playoffs, or the World Series for matter, which starts tonight. But who cares? I mean, unless you live in Houston or Atlanta, and as a Mets fan, I don't want Atlanta to win, so I don't know. And of course, the Houston Astros were in the Bad News Bears, the Bad News Bears in breaking training. So who doesn't like the Houston Astros? I'm such an idiot. I don't know what to say. All right. Let's bring in our first guest this evening. She is the stand-up comedy legend who has appeared multiple times on The Late Show with David Letterman, Comic Relief, HBO Comedy Half Hour, and so much more. She also happens to be one of the funniest people to follow on Twitter, which you should do right now. On November 24th, she will appear on the Showtime special, Even More Funny Women of a Certain Age. Please welcome back to the show our very good friend, Wendy Liebman, everybody.
Hey, Dave.
Hi, Wendy.
I almost wore that same shirt.
The same shirt from the Women of a Certain Age, or the same shirt from last
that you're
time?
wearing.
Oh, I did not see that coming. I didn't even know.
I have to fix my lighting. You have to become a producer.
Yeah.
And a lighting technician.
Not that you didn't have 15 minutes, so you've been on for a half hour. No big deal. It's so wait, should I if Wayne is here, our next guest is here, it's good for me if you guys want to come in. Is that's okay with you?
Great, because I forgot this was a football show.
Oh, well, for the first hour with you, we weren't going to talk about football.
Oh, okay. Because I was a cheerleader and everything, but I was a very angry. I was a very angry cheerleader. I was like, "Give me an F and a sandwich."
I guess I'll bring in Wayne if you're ready. Let me give you his intro too. So he was going to be our 7:00 guest, but the more the merrier, especially with these two lovely folks. He is a comedian and actor who has appeared in some of the greatest comedy television programs of all time. Yes, I can say that because it's Curb Your Enthusiasm and The Larry Sanders Show, as well as HBO's Crashing, the movie Legally Blonde, and the soap opera General Hospital. His latest book is entitled The History of Stand-Up, From Mark Twain to Dave Chappelle. And if that's not enough, he recently became a professor at the USC School of Dramatic Arts. Please welcome Wayne Federman, everybody.
Thank you.
Hello.
Thanks, Wendy, for letting me come in on your time. I
Hey.
do want to, right away when I ask about, is that cheerleader thing real? Was that in high school?
I was a cheerleader in high school, but I was very hungry and angry. And
Did you ever have to wear a knee brace? I'm always fascinated by the cheerleader with the knee brace. You know that one?
I never was that one, but I did break my leg a couple of years ago. So it all evens out.
That was a couple of years ago, though. That's right. You had that bad accident.
Yes, but I was listening to your show before I came on, and I think a good suggestion for what that person should get instead of the ball is one of Tom Brady's children.
Maybe the one he had with Bridget Moynihan. That's a good idea. He's not doing anything with that kid.
You know, listening to you, I go, I don't know enough about geography to understand sports. Like, you have to care about each place. And I thought the people from Atlanta, they all grew up in Atlanta. Like, that's the team. It doesn't work that way, right?
No, it does not work that way. It does on occasion. I think there's a guy in the World Series, I want to say, what is it, Freddie Freeman, who might be an Atlanta kid. Maybe. So it's very rare when it happens.
Right.
Who was playing Green Bay the other day? Washington. The Washington football team. They changed their name. I think
Wendy, do you know about, before we go on, because I feel like this is not going to be about sports with Wendy. Do you know that the Redskins changed their name to the Washington football team?
I did. I'm a little aware. It's like I'm aware of the cream on the top.
And that the Indians are changing their names to, what is it?
It's a horrible name. It starts with a G.
The Guardians. The
Guardians. That's so stupid. It's about.
But Wendy, the Braves are like, they're digging in. They're like, we are not changing.
Yeah, they're from the South. They don't care.
They don't.
Well, once you have a name, it's hard to change your name because people so identify. Like, I was going to change my last name when I got married, but I already had a career. So, am I going to start over? Yeah.
No, what would be your new name? What would be the new?
Wendy McGillicuddy.
I set her up. I set her up all the time. I know how to handle.
You set me up, Sherman. But remember we did that very first Zoom together, Wayne. This is like at the beginning of the pandemic, and it was. Doesn't that seem like 150 years ago?
No, it seemed like maybe a year and a half to me.
Oh, well, being on Dave's show has been the highlight of my pandemic.
Well, obviously.
The fact that I got to meet you, because I'm a New Yorker, but I never performed at the Cellar, so because I didn't live there, I started in Boston. So,
that's what I thought. You did.
But if I ever come to New York, I'm hitting you up for a spot.
Oh yeah, no, you have to, because you're the best, and I don't think anybody would have a problem with that whatsoever. And you're in the new episode of More Funny Women of a Certain Age, and apparently even in this day and age, you don't have a problem with that title. I mean, it seems like I can't believe
Let me hear what your thoughts were when the offer came in. This I'm very curious about.
I didn't think about it other than this is a place for me to perform on Showtime. I turned 56 last year, and actually I started forgetting things now that I'm 56, like the fact that I'm 60. But my new mantra is fuck it, I'm 60. Can I swear?
Yeah.
Fuck it, I'm 60. So anything goes. So I'll be on a show called, I can't think of anything. I'll be on the show called All Broads.
Well, I'm really glad you're performing, because you know how I feel about you. So I'm very, very happy that you are doing this show, and I'm very excited to see it, because you don't do enough television. You should actually.
I was there. I don't mean me, but I mean the whole show was amazing. It was Monique Marvez who was giving a master class on stand-up. It was just brilliant. And Terry Hatcher.
Yeah, wait, I saw that. She's just a host, right? She's not doing stand-up, right?
She did she did stand up and she held her own.
Right, but it's like, but Wayne, it's like the old young comedian specials where they'd have John Candy host and he'd do a little bit of stand up, but it's like that, right? I mean, she's basically the host.
Terry Hatcher is one of my comedy idols. So I don't know why you're attacking her.
Always, yes, of course.
Yeah.
She was so
It's
great
her
and
and
nice.
Richard Pryor. Or my two.
Leanne Lord
Uh-huh.
was on the show, and Carol Montgomery, it's her show.
Of course,
so of course she did a
Speaking of which, I
spot.
remember when she was Carol Friedman. That's how far back I go with her.
Yeah, I don't know any of these people except for Marsha Warfield.
And Marsha Warfield.
And Marsha
who
Warfield is on the show.
Was we had so much fun in the
Okay.
trailer.
When you took the gig, did they card you, or you're like, you have to have been born before
You have to be a certain age.
1965 or something?
I had to
Like-
give them a skin sample.
Yeah.
And they saw how much melanoma I had.
Wait, is that
greatest.
true that you do have to be an actual certain age, or do they just, I mean, as long as you assume over 40?
I don't actually
is that
know what the
certain age?
criteria was, but I think they probably think like, who are the comedians who've been around a really long time that are female? Like, I think they probably just have a group of people in mind.
Yeah, it's probably women that have had a career previously. I mean, that's probably the all you need.
Hey, I'm 60. I'm still trying to make it.
Of course.
I'm doing it.
hilarious.
I'm still doing it. I have friends who are
Wendy,
retired now.
Were you on Dr. Katz?
Yeah, she was. I know,
Yeah.
because
I
used to have
was.
a picture of her.
I thought it's in my head, and I remember it was so good. I
Were
was like,
you?
She was on multiple times.
No, you were on
Wendy
multiple
was-
times?
Wendy was on
I
3
was on-
times.
Well, I only got paid for 2.
Oh,
But no, my hair was really short. And we know Dave and I have this thing about my hair. My hair was about your length,
I
Wayne.
hated it.
oh, really?
And well, I just had 6 inches cut off by a really bad sushi chef. But
Classic Liebman. Right?
I'm just doing jokes for you guys.
I
How
love
have
it.
you
It's
been?
working.
I
It's
love
working.
it. I love
How
it.
was your past year and a half? I've talked to Dave, but I only saw you at the beginning, Wayne.
No, I'm more interested in you. I feel like I'm cutting into your hour. So I have a million questions about you and doing that. Was that a big
Do I have
thing?
broccoli in my teeth? Oh,
No.
I didn't have broccoli.
No,
so
you
it's
look.
a good
By the
thing.
way, on that show, I saw some of the pictures. Actually, I have them. I'll show them to you. You look terrific on the show. I love your
know,
longer hair. You know that. So
Can
I
I
think that's
just-
all it takes. I'm that
Can I just
shallow.
say, I usually hate my set. This
Mhm.
time I hated what I was wearing.
Oh,
And
tell
I
us.
go,
Tell
do
us
I
what it
need
was.
to hate something? Can I not feel joyous about this thing that I'm just trying to make other people happy? Like, why do I have to? Yeah, but I'm so vain, you guys, but I'm also really insecure. So I love looking at myself in the mirror, but only from 600 feet away.
Well, why do you suppose all the women besides Terry Hatcher were wearing black? Is that part of what they asked you to do, or is that just an absolute coincidence?
I think it's just what women wear. I'm wearing it now. It's very thinning. I actually am 250 stone.
What is that?
I don't know, 250. It's slimming. And plus, like, you can't tell that I spilled coffee on myself twice already today.
Well, that's true. It's just funny that you would think when you're putting together the show, you wouldn't want to have everybody wearing the exact same color. I don't know why. I guess.
Okay,
when
Dave,
saw
I
the-
feel like you're attacking this show now.
I am.
There
I
was
think it's
no
obvious why people wear black. What kind
there
of
was
question is
no
that?
there was no like,
Collusion?
But it's
Was it
just funny 'cause-
collusion or direction. Just wear something that you would wear.
It's
on
just funny
stage.
because Terry Hatcher is wearing like bright yellow, so that's why it
Uh-huh.
stood out.
And I wore the opposite of her. I wore like a yellow shirt and black. We were like yin yang. She's
Oh.
twice as tall as I am too.
Yes, you seem to be the shortest one on the show. I never thought of you when you see it. You got to see the group photo. I'll show it in a second. It's I never think of you that way. You always seem very tall to me.
That's what everybody says, and that's why my Showtime special from 10 years ago is called Taller on TV.
Oh, right.
Because inevitably people will come up and say, "Oh my God, I thought you were 6 feet." So I must give off like, I definitely eat for a taller person. I'm stuck on the Cheez-Its and peanut M&Ms right now. And there are like 40 different kind of M&Ms, just so you know. Everything.
Because of Halloween? Is it a Halloween?
No, always.
Oh, always.
Pretzel filled, crunchy, peanut butter, caramel, peanut, plain. We mix them all together and just sit on the couch and watch British
Bubba
crime
Gump,
TV.
it's like that guy Bubba on the on Forrest Gump. Because
Exactly.
there's shrimp and coconut shrimp. Like, this is very exciting. I remember he goes on for like 2 days, like, saying all that.
There's
And
a Bubba Shrimps in LA.
There's one here in this, or there was in the city. Everything closed. You know, I was looking for a place to eat in the city on Friday, and everything was closed down at around 11:30. I think things aren't normal. WoHop closed. I don't know how much you know about New York. I mean, Wayne, you've been here a lot, but Wendy, I don't think ever lived here, right? Besides being where you grew up.
I almost did, but I went to see the apartment before I moved in, and my friend had moved in, so we were going to move in together. And somebody got mugged in the stairwell the day I went to visit. So I was like, I can't do this. But my parents live in Manhattan.
Oh, they do? Oh, yeah. So there's a place, a legendary Chinese restaurant called WoHop, and it's open, till 5 a.m. upstairs, and then the downstairs. I've been there at 7 in the morning, 8 in the morning. It closed at like 11 o'clock. I think Wayne's frozen, or he's doing the greatest.
Wait, is he blinking?
No. Oh, he's gone.
He's gone.
Well,
something we said.
Yeah, obviously he was very upset with what you were doing.
What kind of food at WoHop?
Chinese food. It's in Chinatown. It's a legendary place. That's the place you go when you can't find another place. And the food's pretty good. It's kind of gross, but it's all right. And it's open till 5 or 7 in the morning. And it was closed at 11:30.
Wait, you said 5 before.
Because there's an upstairs and a downstairs. You go to the restaurants open till 5 upstairs, but there's this creepy downstairs that we used to go to as kids, and that's open till that might be open 24 hours. I don't even know. Maybe they close at 7, 8 in the morning. You've never been? I guess you never did New York. Yeah.
I mean, I've had pizza there, and I've eaten at.
Oh, he's back.
All right,
bodegas. The food in the bodegas is really good.
Sometimes I found a place last Thursday, a bodega. There's a place in Brooklyn where this guy is stepping up a bodega. In case you don't know, you live in New York. It's mostly like a deli or a little supermarket, like a tiny supermarket in a way, but it's really tiny. And this guy in Brooklyn is making these new sandwiches. Because there's so many bodegas, you have to stand out. This guy's going for it, and he's making these sandwiches that have everything in it, including mozzarella sticks, or a breakfast sandwich that's made out of hash browns, and there's egg in between and everything. It's really smart. It was just in the paper the other day.
Yum! And you have a Whole Foods that's underground or something, and it's massive.
There's one on my block here. I hate it there. I wouldn't go to that crummy snobatorium if you paid me.
Well, my supermarket, they changed it around since the pandemic, and they confused everybody. So there was a 6-cart pileup in frozen. Doing jokes for you.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Do you?
Yes.
Well, I'll tell you what. Why don't we go to the slides, and we can comment the ones I had prepared for Wendy, but it would be wonderful to have Wayne as well, and we can comment on these slides. I'm going to share my screen. And these were the ones I had prepared for Wendy, but it's perfect.
I'll let her do it. I'm not gonna.
Can everybody see?
Yep.
Yes.
All right. Have you seen this photo yet?
No.
I have.
You have. So, Wendy, do you know who this is?
That looks like Mick Jagger.
It is Mick Jagger.
Ding, ding.
This picture was taken in North Carolina. He was just sitting in this saloon having a beer, and nobody noticed.
Who took the picture, though?
I guess he was with somebody who took the picture.
Shirley.
I think it was Keith Richards took the picture.
Thirsty. The thirsty beaver.
Yeah, it's
It
like a
looks like he's
standalone.
playing the bottle.
It does look like that way. You're right. But yeah, everybody who was right after he put it on Instagram, like the people on the left and the right, like turn around. And the
That's
people
so
on the
good.
right apparently had tickets to the show, and they had just gone to see him and like, oh, we'll never get close to Mick.
This looks like something Bill Murray would do.
Yeah.
You know how he shows up but it looked like a painting too.
Oh,
Okay.
again,
Yeah.
Mick Jagger. Again, Mick Jagger.
Well,
Thanks
it's
for
like
ruining the joke, David. Thank you.
sorry, Mick is the only guy that can stand outside a bar and just it turns into an album cover. You know,
Oh, yeah.
it's like it would have been a
And
perfect.
the other
Stone.
people are just ignoring him.
They have no idea. Isn't that the best?
It's very cool.
You know, you can't always get what you want. What's this?
This is, although it looks like a Cinemax movie, or Wonder Woman 84, if you saw that horrible piece of crap, which was really
Jesus.
disappointing to me because I love Gal Gadot.
Well, I wrote that movie.
Oh
Keep
shit!
going.
I'm
Let's get-
sorry. How rude.
No, I'm kidding.
Well, then we have to have a conversation. No, this is the lighting of the Olympic torch for the 2022 Winter Olympics in Greece. It just looks pornographic. Well, to me.
It doesn't look pornographic to me. Those look like my bridesmaids.
See, I see it a different way. It's like this was the WNBA championship last week, and I'm like, and this looks pornographic to me. I have a problem.
You
Obviously.
do, because I don't. The only thing that's pornographic is that there are balls. But by the way, question: what is the most expensive ball? Because you said the Brady ball was.
I would say either a baseball or in ever.
Yeah,
that's hard to say. I mean, definitely, I think like Jeter's 3,000th hit would be one. No, what do you think, Wayne? You're nodding your head.
I would think so. Maybe. Who knows? I mean, it's like that's just a speculation market. Suddenly, I'm an expert on sports.
Is it like art? Like it's
It's just like what you think people will want. Yeah, exactly.
The one in 4th grade that knocked my front tooth out, I would pay.
That's probably worth quite a bit right now.
Who knows? That's a good question.
Okay,
what's the most been paid for at auction?
Yeah,
I would think it was some Babe Ruth thing, but maybe not. Maybe
that's why they were trying to decipher what the Tom Brady ball was worth, and they decided it's probably.
Can I just interject? I know this is Wendy's time, but real quickly, I feel like you're missing a key point to this whole story, which is that guy was given a football in the end zone. I feel like that's a way different scenario than someone who catches a baseball during a game. I feel like one is he didn't do anything to get that football except have a good seat near the end zone. But someone who catches a ball, like that's an actual activity, and that person, I think, deserves to hold on to the ball. But if you're given a ball, you didn't do anything. You just got lucky. So that's my take. That's my hot take.
No, that's interesting. I like that. I haven't heard anybody talk about that before.
Well, I think outside the box.
Mark McGwire's 70th home run ball went for $3 million.
Oh, wow.
Okay. Yeah.
Wow, Well, that makes a lot. Well,
but now it's not worth that much because of he was
steroids. Exactly. Yeah.
By the way, I saw this game.
Wait, Mark McGwire didn't hit set. Wait, Mark McGwire or Barry Bonds?
Mark McGwire.
Oh.
Yeah.
I was going to sneeze, but that's nothing to sneeze at.
By the way, I watched that WNBA final. I'm a big fan of that.
You knew that the Chicago Sky won the WNBA championship? That was the first I heard of it. Really?
Over Phoenix. Yeah, I watched most of that. I'm a big hoops fan. Yeah, so I love it.
Even the chicks.
Yeah, especially.
I can't imagine going to the game, and I can't imagine watching it. I find it completely uninteresting. I'm sorry.
I bet it's gorgeous.
I don't mean to be like that, but the only women's sports I like tennis and I like gymnastics. When they're
figure skating.
Okay, yeah, when Wendy goes, I want to have a long talk to you about women's tennis. Okay,
for real?
I just don't want to take up Wendy's time.
Well, Wendy could take up your time too if she has.
Yeah,
time.
If Wendy, I don't know if she's busy.
I don't think I do.
Well, this one, speaking of women, this is Sukkot in the West Bank. As you can see, no women are here, so that's not a good thing for anybody.
Oh my God! Oh, you missed my joke. Okay, I thought I was
Sorry.
going
What
to
was
go.
the
Oh,
joke?
that's Mick Jagger right in the third row.
Sorry.
Go to the next one. Go to the
I
next
always
one.
go too fast. I always
Yeah.
I should wait. Rich Voss was like, he's like, you don't wait. And then Bonnie and Rich were on, and Bonnie go, so we go back, and then Rich had nothing to say, and Bonnie
Oh,
was
I
just
see.
like,
I'm
so
not-
you have nothing to say.
I have something. I had something. Keep
No, I
going.
know. I'm sorry.
Now
This is
that's
like a fun
pornographic.
That's comedy right there.
Yes, and for the people on the Contender app, it is. I have to sometimes explain it. Is when they're listening, it's a picture of Queen Elizabeth and Boris, and they're at a party. It looks like they're having a great time. It's just so weird that she's just up and running at 95. No, we can skip this one. This one too, I guess. These are Michael Jordan's shoes.
Oh yeah.
That just sold for 1.47 million, the earliest known regular season game. Regular season game worn by Michael Jordan went for 1.47 million.
Like,
That's
does the
pro
person
game.
who buy that wear those, or they put it in plexiglass
Yeah, that's
and
pretty
sell
much
it
how
for
works.
1.5? Okay, so it's like art.
Yes.
But he
it's his-
also needs a lot of odor eaters.
Exactly. Yeah, we were wondering it because that guy who got the ball got Mike Evans cleats, the cleats he wore in the game. I'm like, I would just be like, I don't need those.
Oh, I see. Well, it's interesting. Just a little trivia. When Jordan, obviously, this is pro game. This is not a college game.
Right.
That doesn't say that on the Bloomberg Quick Take.
Well, he didn't wear Nike shoes. You know, he didn't have the deal.
I know. Do you know what he wore in college at UNC?
I do not.
Puma.
I do. Converse. Converse. Let's keep going. Let's keep going.
This is Megan Thee Stallion, who went as a white guy for was going as for Halloween. That's do you know who that is? What she's doing?
Wendy?
She's swinging from a chandelier.
No, but she's imitating this guy, Pinhead, from the
Yeah.
Hellraiser movie.
Oh,
Yeah, of course.
I'm not gonna dress. Well, you know what I'm going as? I'm going as a sexy vaccinated mask wearer. That's what I'm going as. But I've been decorating my house all month for Halloween by not dusting or vacuuming.
Brilliant.
It's really spooky.
That is good. That's a good outfit. That's the same. Never mind.
Sorry, go ahead.
No. I was going to make a joke about women of a certain age. Like that's the outfit Marsha Warfield wore or something.
Damn, I'm sorry.
Yeah, why is she wearing black?
Right, exactly. Why don't you bring that up, Dave?
I don't know.
I
always bring this up when Wendy's here because if you don't know, Wendy's father-in-law, right?
Yeah, he's the one on the left.
The one we have a picture. One on the left wrote "A Spoonful of Sugar" and many other Mary Poppins legendary tunes. And the best part is that these guys came up with the idea for the Spoonful of Sugar over the polio vaccine, which, if you remember correctly, the polio vaccine we all took and we wiped out polio. Just making a little tiny point.
Right. Well, my husband said to his dad, they gave us the vaccine, they put it on a sugar cube and we ate it off of a spoon. And they went and they wrote "Spoonful of Sugar helps the medicine go down." And it's a beautiful story and everybody should get vaccinated.
Right.
But they should give us ice cream from Thrifty or something. They should give us
Right. There's no
candy.
sugar. There's
Well,
no
that's why they
sugar
messed up.
with
That's
these
why they-
vaccines, right?
That's why they didn't roll it out correctly. And then your husband just did this album.
Oh my
Afterglow.
God. He put it out himself on Spotify and Apple Music. And he's just been writing during the pandemic. And it's my favorite.
It's all
music.
instrumental, right?
Yeah, he did it on the synthesizer computer and you can make it sound like a whole orchestra. And
So your husband does get some stuff from his dad, some musical talent then.
Music runs in the family. I don't know if it does in your family too, Wayne, because I know you're very musical. Well, you sing in the shower, right?
True.
I sing in the shower, but only if there's a piano, and it can't be electric. But
You know, I remember when Jeffrey C. Sherman put out Pre-Glow. That's how far back I go.
no, his
But
first
yes.
CD is Begin Again, and it's just
Oh, okay.
pandemic tunes. And yeah, but both his sons are really musical.
Yeah, I have one of their albums.
Oh,
Really?
thank you.
Look at Wayne.
Federman's amazing musician, and
Yeah, he's played on the
incorporates it
Tonight
into his
Show. And,
act.
yeah.
Thanks.
Yeah, you just played piano on the Tonight Show before you bought out did the book. The last time before you were on the Tonight Show, you played the piano. Yes.
If that's a question.
Remember
Do I
we
have it
did
right,
that
or-
show? Remember
I'm
we
just saying
did
it's
that show in
recourse.
somebody's house? Wayne,
Yes,
we did
yeah.
that show in front of a shark tank. There were
Yeah,
like
I do
baby
remember.
sharks swimming behind us.
It wasn't a row of people you were pitching products to. It was actually a Shark Tank, right? It wasn't a row of millionaires you were trying to get investment money from.
Right. And like Tom Jones was in the audience.
That was
and
a
you were
crazy
playing the
night. You know who
piano.
else was in the crowd that night? Was Peter Noon. I don't know. You might not know him.
Herman's
Yeah.
Hermits?
Yeah. He was-
Really?
Wow.
Yes.
And Priscilla Presley.
Yeah, that was one of the most.
That was one of the most Hollywoody, bizarre experiences I've had. It was in a house that was on the land where Manson lived.
Cielo Drive. Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
That screams comedy.
We actually had a pretty good time, but it was weird. It was
Whoa.
Oh.
Now that's obscene.
That's Wendy.
Pornographic.
Wayne. That's Wendy on the trampoline.
What?
Doing her
What year?
cheerleading skills.
What year is that?
25 years ago. And I just tried it yesterday again, and I broke my hip.
You know what's interesting though?
Wendy
What?
doing
Still
a
wearing
little
black.
split.
Still wearing black.
Yep. How about that? But she has the longer hair.
Still trying to slim down a little.
Oh
I get
my
it.
God.
You are
That-
able to almost touch your toes while doing a split
God,
mid-air. It's
What
very
big
impressive.
fucking feet I have. I have
Is
clown
that what you?
feet.
Okay, tell me what you see. Tell me what you
I
see.
see my big fucking ears
Yeah.
and my crotch. And I'm like, what was I thinking?
What was it
But they-
for?
Wait,
don't-
were you happy with the lipstick at least?
It was the only part that I thought.
No,
please.
because earlier you said that you are very critical when you see pictures of yourself. So I'm just
I can look at this picture from 600 feet away, and I think it's pretty good.
really impressive.
Yeah, it's
Thank
amazing.
you. I don't remember what the shoot was for, but it was a couple of comedians, and it was on top of a building in LA, and there was a trampoline, and they said, just have fun. So I guess that's me having fun.
That's pretty good. And here's you on the show.
Yeah.
On the more funny women of a certain age. There she is
really?
performing. Look how pretty
That looks
she
good. I like the
Okay.
backdrop, right?
All
That
right.
looks- yeah.
Yeah, you look
Why am I
terrific.
wearing black though?
No,
Well,
hey, look at the.
they're all
wait,
wearing
go back,
black.
Go back. Look at the light shimmering off your hair. You got to be happy with that, right?
Yeah, but wait till you see the shirt.
Okay.
But
Oh
you see-
yeah.
they're all wearing black. There's Terry
Mhm.
Hatcher wearing, what is that, gold, I
Yeah.
guess? But
It was yellow.
it was yellow.
Yeah. She was so nice.
God, I hope
She
I'm so
came to
good.
Vitello's to my next show.
She did.
Yeah. She loves comedy. I guess
That's
she's
cool.
she's learning how to write a show, I think.
And she's keep going. I was going to make a joke. But
No, what is the
no.
joke?
And then she joined the Hitler Youth. Let's keep going.
Because she has her hand up like that.
It's okay. It was bad.
Well, this
No,
was just the last one.
Absolutely one of the prettiest people I've ever seen in my
Oh, that's
Really?
for sure. I got a
And
crush on
that-
her.
So
Yeah.
what is that like? Is it just stunning? Do you does it shake you?
You're just like, I just had to say, you're gorgeous, right? Like, I have no
I think she
filter,
knows.
but maybe it feels good to hear it
Mhm.
anyway. Like,
I mean, she was a
don't-
Bond girl, for goodness sakes. I mean,
Yeah.
you're pretty good looking if you can be a Bond girl.
And she was voted sexiest woman many
Oh,
times.
yes, that's right. And somebody in the chat room just wrote, they're real and they're spectacular. Forgot about
Right.
that.
Yeah, but can she trampoline?
No, of course not.
Top
Nobody
of a
can do that
building.
split. And this was just the last one, which is my favorite thing. It's called What a Week I'm Having. And it's volcanic ash. They're trying to shovel volcanic ash off a house in the Spanish island. And, it's just like, it looks a little futile. Where are you putting that volcanic ash you're shoveling? Where's that going? How are you going to shovel out of that?
Two things about
That's the top of a house?
Yeah.
Two things about that picture. It looks like a painting to me.
It does.
And also, I think the one on the right is Mick Jagger.
Classic.
Nice.
I was going to leave it to you, Wayne, to say
No. When I looked at that picture was, I think this is a leaf blower might be a more effective than a show.
Giant
throwing it out.
You're absolutely right. And just we have to leave shortly, or at least Wendy. But again, Wendy, if you want to stay,
I actually can't, but I'm so glad that I got to spend some time with both of you. Yeah,
I'm glad too, and I'm so glad you're doing stand. I mean, I know you never stopped. I know the pandemic stopped you a little bit, but I can't tell you, and I know Wayne feels similar. You're one of the best stand-up comics. I've already told you how much you've meant to me through stand-up, because you were a little you were far ahead. For me and Attell were in awe of you when we were first starting out, and Wayne, of course, knows the history of stand-up, so he understands what we know about you and how amazing you are as a stand-up, and how you've made your own. Like there's like, oh, you're like Wendy Liebman, like you have your own style. It's amazing.
Well, I'm writing a musical. I don't know if Wayne, you know this, and I know I have a minute. I'm writing a musical about 3 stand-up comedians in Vegas over Valentine's Day in 2017, right after Trump was elected, because one of the comedians is political, and one of the songs is paying tribute to all of the comedians like that have gone before us. And what I realized is you remember people who make you laugh, because it's not just celebrities. It's like you remember, that's what you laugh with your friends.
Yeah, exactly. I remember, Wayne, do you remember the guy Ronnie Shakes? Well, Wendy, you probably remember him too, right?
I went to his wedding. Yeah,
he came to my college once, and my friend and I were just talking about like how funny he was. I mean, just we remember back in 1985 how great. Never heard of him before, and then I know he died very young. But my God, he made us laugh so hard, and I don't even know what he was saying.
I didn't know him, but somebody once quoted him, and they said that he said that he was in therapy for so long, and after like 25 years, his therapist said, "I don't speak English."
Okay, let me do the joke.
Tell the real joke.
The joke is, I've been in therapy for 5 years or 7 years, and my therapist said something at our last meeting that really bothered me. He said, "No habla inglés."
Yeah, what's the matter with you, Wendy?
That Shakes was so good.
All right, so Wendy will be on Showtime on November 24th. Even more funny women of a certain age, so that's very exciting. You can all see her on the day before Thanksgiving, I believe that is. So
Happy
Wendy,
Thanksgiving.
thank you. Yes,
I'm gonna watch. I'll be watching. I have Showtime.
Okay.
Me too. I'm very excited. Thank you so much.
I love you both.
Wayne, we have to go. We're going to see you in 5 minutes. Just hang around.
All right.
But we always
thanks,
take a break
Wendy. Thanks for letting me crash.
I love you both. Bye.
The Contender takes your phone calls.
How are you, James? It's good to be with you.
Yeah, good to have you calling in, man. It's been a while. How are you?
I can't complain. Well, I could, but who wants to listen in this day and age? But I really
want to hear you complain, David. Come on, this is a sports show. It's all about complaints.
Okay, I hear you. To get to my point quickly, I agree with the last caller. And I had spoken to you briefly during the work week. I really think that the Deshaun Watson thing is a whole big mess about nothing. I think it is to drum up attention. I don't think there is a specific team, but I'm calling you because and now we have to let your listeners know, I'm a diehard Miami Dolphins fan, and I'm calling to tell you that there's absolutely no way that we're going to get rid of Tua for Deshaun Watson. And that's, by the way, that is I also, because I was really proud of the fact that you didn't want to make the allegations the point, and I don't want to make the allegations the point. I just think that the team is focusing on what they need to focus on, and that is, a healthy Tua with the right ingredients to do what we need to do. And of course, if you want to talk about the right ingredients, that's a completely different conversation.
Contending football. Pre-game, every NFL Sunday, on The Contender.
I think they'll go to Denver and win because the Broncos couldn't even beat a horribly beat up Cleveland team the other day. So I think they can go to Denver and win. And maybe, the back stretch when they play 5 straight against the NFC East, the Giants are still terrible. I think they can get the Eagles, once. Who knows? They beat Dallas once. Then you're looking at maybe they get to 6-7 wins again. And if we look up and they're 7-10, is it that much worse than last year? I
think if we get to 7 wins, I think we feel good. I think we would look at it and say, and I think that's the irony here. If we sat here preseason and, picked wins and losses, we didn't have them beating the Pack. We didn't have them beating the Chiefs. We didn't have them beating,
of course not.
The Chargers. So they're kind of where we expected them to be. Again, foolishly as a fan, I want them to win every game, and I'm rooting for them every single game because this is my team, for better, for worse. And right now it's not for better, but I don't disagree with you. I think they can get a win in Denver. I think that's a difficult place to play, but it's not like Lambeau Field. And then they got a bye week, and maybe they can reset and do something after that. But they got the Bucks, the Panthers, the Ron homecoming game on the.
But the Panthers are terrible.
They are.
They benched Sam Darnold today. I mean, they lost. They got boat raced by the Giants. The Panthers are not good. Now, if Christian McCaffrey's back, maybe the thing changes a little bit. But they're not any good. So that to me is you look at it. They could go 5-5 the rest of the year. If they're a 500 team the rest of the year, they finish 7-10.
Washington football talk, every week right after the game on The Contender.
Cleaning up in the chat here before we get out of here. Torian says, Pat, what's your thoughts on Ben Simmons' suspension? Ben don't want to be in Philly because he know if he come out on the court, Philly's going to boo him from day one, and that's going to destroy him. So he don't want to be there. He doesn't want to play for him. He said he don't want to play for him. Doc kind of said, listen, get your butt in gear and get back in there or you're not going to get paid. I mean, he said he don't want to play for you. He showed back up because he knew what the checks weren't coming. Okay. I don't think it changes what Philly does. If anything, it would only be an asset to Philly because as much as we hate on Ben Simmons defensively, he is a good defensive player. But to me, I was putting Philly as a top 5 team with Joel Embiid and Tobias Harris. I think Joel Embiid is that kind of good. The question is, can he be that kind of healthy? But I just think he's that kind of good. This is the only show that's talking Chicago sports. Hot Chicago talk.
The Windy City Breeze.
Why does football need to be so serious? Not here, it doesn't. It's time for picks. Washington will control the ball. Laughs. And an overall good time right in the middle of New York City. It's the Comedy Cellar Football Show with Dave Juskow on The Contender.
It is true. I am in the middle of New York City. Yes, this is the Comedy Cellar Football Show and the Contender app with a K. Live sports talk and never any commercials, and you can download it again. They concentrate for now in the Washington, D.C. and Chicago area. The Comedy Cellar, of course, down on McDougal Street is the most legendary comedy place ever. So you can see the best comedy. They have 4 rooms. They're open every single night. Maybe they close on Christmas. They used to. They might be open at this point. I don't even know. But then in Las Vegas, they have another club, and you can't miss by going to the greatest comedy club in the world. All right. Let's look at the stats from last week. Mike, first of all, Mike, where I saw something on Instagram that you're performing somewhere. Do you want to tell us where?
I'll be at Skankfest next week.
Hey, you're not allowed to say that. Oh, right, that's a real thing.
In Houston, and I'll show at LOL San Antonio on the 10th.
Skankfest is huge, which it shouldn't be in this day and age, but it is. And congratulations for doing that gig. That sounds awesome. That's with Big J Okerson. Am I correct?
Yes, sir.
He invented Skankfest. So that's good, Mike. Congratulations. That's next week in Houston or this weekend?
Next weekend, the first weekend of November.
First week in November. Let's look at the Celebrity 5 first, which we didn't do this week because it doesn't matter. So, right? So, can you believe this? Our musicians got everyone right. You see, folks, you can have all these people on all the time, all these analysis, and they make a lot of money, and they don't know anything. Colin got all 3 Premier League ones right. He called me the next day. He goes, "How do you like that, jerk off?" He got Wayne's back. He got Chelsea right. He got the Newcastle United correct, and he got the Liverpool right. They actually killed him, and they were plus a goal. And then Julian picked the Patriots, which of course crushed the Jets, and the New York Giants. So how about that? And then let's look at last week's. Wayne is back. Hello. And,
hello. Sorry.
Oh, it's okay. Here's last week. I salvaged the week. It wasn't a good week. Mike and I were even at 7-6. Lou, the guy that's supposed to know everything, didn't do very well. And the audience kicked ass at 9-4. It was very impressive. I, of course, got Seattle right yesterday. You're welcome. And the Colts, which nobody else did. And we all got Green Bay correct, which was right. And I got Tennessee. We all got the Patriots right. I picked way against the Jets. But the audience was smart, and they picked the Giants, and they picked the Bengals, who crushed Baltimore.
Yeah, surprising.
Yeah, and we all picked LA because we thought for sure they would crush the Lions, and that didn't even work out in the teaser. That was a disaster. So I'm still winning before the guest by 1 point.
I see it.
I'm not doing horribly. That was from last week. Marcy was saying she was personally 10-3. Well, right, because we did lose. So we should have just gone with your picks, Marcy. I guess Brian says the audience always wins. All right, Wayne, you are a master of the history of stand-up comedy.
Yes.
Your take on the Dave Chappelle stuff.
Well, I feel like we're in the middle of all of this, so I don't know how it's going to shake out. I mean, the problem is he has a documentary that he's trying to sell about his, out in Ohio doing that stand-up show
during COVID.
And, Dave's summer camp. And apparently, and I don't know any of the details other than what he said, that film festivals are starting to withdraw offers for that thing. So,
this is ridiculous.
I don't know. I mean, this is I know it sounds like I'm straddling the line, and I'm working on a documentary about Carlin, who was a free speech advocate. I mean, so I sort of fall on that side of it, but to me, this is competing values is all this is. On one side, you want people to have artistic freedom. And the other side is you want people not to feel like they're being shivved when they go to a comedy show, especially for people who are just kind of, finding their way in life, or transgender people. So who doesn't want to be sensitive to people? No one. But who wants artistic freedom? I think everyone. So they are naturally going to compete. So this has been going on, just so you know. People complaining about comedians on stage for well over 100 years. So this is nothing new. The problem is now because of something called social media. I'm sure you're aware of it, Dave, right?
Yep.
It's kind of been whatever escalated or heightened, or it's the consequences of the blowback are more severe than maybe they were in the past. But this has been going on a long time, and
look what they did to poor Lenny Bruce.
Lenny Bruce was arrested in 4 cities for just swearing on stage.
Yeah,
although some people make the case, and I kind of agree, that it was a little more about the anti-religious stuff that he was doing. Under the guise of we don't want somebody saying, cuck, or that kind of thing on stage. So I think it was a little of that. But then Carlin came along, and where dirty words really hurt Lenny Bruce, Carlin, it actually made his career in the early 70s with that album Class Clown and the 7 words you can't say on television. I don't know if you remember that bit.
Of course I remember.
So anyway, this has been going on even in vaudeville. People were complaining about comedians and offensive things they found on stage. So I hate to bring it to you. It's not new. It's just, what do you think? We're kind of like,
I'm upset about it. A lot of times they'll say that Dave Chappelle or somebody is in trouble.
Yeah.
They did this with Michael Che on Saturday Night Live.
Oh, really?
They said that he said something anti-Semitic or was construed as anti-Semitic.
Right.
They didn't print what it was. When they finally printed what it was, I said, well, I will judge being Jewish.
Yeah.
I will judge. And I saw it. And I know Michael Che very well. I've never known him to be that way. I know he's a comedian. It wasn't anti-Semitic at all. He was just making a joke. And then with the Chappelle thing, they still haven't really printed what it is that was said or done. So there's no way to tell. But I say, let it go. He says, I'm sorry if it made people feel uncomfortable, but he's a comic, and I don't think he was doing it to hurt anybody. I mean, then don't watch Dave Chappelle, but don't tell him he can't be on Netflix. I mean, it's not the end all of being really anti-Semitic or somebody who really is, which is noticeable to everybody. I don't think he dislikes transgender people. I don't think there's ill will towards them.
I don't think there is. I think you're kind of missing the point. I agree with everything you're saying, but
that could be different because we both know Dave Chappelle and we know he's not like that. So maybe that's something. I don't know.
But yes, but it's to the point of it's just about being sensitive. It's about being sensitive or hypersensitive. And I remember one of the guys from Monty Python, I can't remember which one. I don't think it was. He said, you don't want what you don't want, and why he didn't like whatever political correctness and all of this, and was that you don't want the most sensitive people in society to decide what comedy is for everyone else.
Excellent that you say that, because I had this article that I ripped up from the Post about 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
From the guy Zucker.
Jim Abram?
What?
Yeah. Zucker?
Oh, you know what I'm talking about? Who wrote Airplane?
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
Yeah. So the article, what he was saying was Todd Phillips, the director of The Hangover and Joker, had this great thing. He said that it's basically 30 million people on Twitter, which computes to roughly 9% of America's population. And it's these 9%ers that are killing joy for everybody. 9% of the population is killing joy for everyone.
When
you put it like that, it's kind of interesting that
right. And I think that's an overstatement. Yes, there is blowback. There are consequences for what comedians say. And everyone has an agenda and doesn't want their group. I'm a little upset with the Anti-Defamation League with the Jews. It's like, we can handle it. We can handle it. And I don't know. I feel like there's more comedy content now than ever in my lifetime.
There is. It's a fact. I mean,
yeah.
It's
So
fact.
When he says that they're killing joy for everyone, I don't know if I agree with him. And I know that guy, and I agree with a lot of points that he made, but there's more free speech. There's more free speech and comedy content than ever before. And so,
are you talking about Zucker or Phillips that you know? David Zucker?
I know Zucker.
Well, he was just pointing out that's what Todd Phillips said.
Oh, I see.
The thing, but he was saying you couldn't make a movie like Airplane today. That's what he was basically trying to.
Of course. And you probably couldn't make The Hangover. I mean,
you're right. God damn it, right?
You probably couldn't make the joke they made about when they pull up to his house and just yell, "Hey, faggot!" You probably couldn't be. I can't imagine you could do that today.
We have Alex Sulkin on the show often.
Oh, you do? Yeah.
Yeah, you can't make Ted, and that was only 7 years ago.
But
Ted. You know.
I know, but we're in the middle of it. I'm going to see how we're just in the middle of it. And I think the reason you can't make those movies is people are trying to be sensitive to populations of people that maybe feel a little, I feel like an idiot even saying it, but I think that's what's happening. And I don't think it's killing comedy.
No,
I don't, because there's more comedy than ever. And there's still South Park that does a lot of stuff that's
you
would
true.
think would get you canceled, and
they don't. Well, they don't care at this point, which is kind of awesome. I think they've done enough, made enough money. I guess they're like.
And I will say this also. I feel like it's a little like I feel like the young comedians that are working today, and I'm still out in the club barely. They get it. They know how to navigate all of this. It's not as big a deal for them as opposed to Mel Brooks or the Monty Python guys and even Zucker and Abe, those guys from Airplane.
I did the Jim Norton and Sam show this morning, and
we
were talking about some the young kids and how they they really, after the show, they'll just concentrate on their social media and put out their jokes or write stuff. And we used to go out and party. And that's something that we'll just never understand, that the younger generation of comics just doesn't want to have fun either. It seems. I don't know.
There's something in I actually admire that. I think that's better than me trying to hit on every girl that walked out of the comedy club after they saw whatever, or drinking, or
of course.
Yeah. So, but I think younger comedians, and this is going to sound stupid, like the younger kids, like they're into grinding. Do you know what that is?
I don't know.
It sounds sexual, but it's not. It's just like, oh, I got to put in the work to make this happen.
Oh, I see. Yes, that's exactly what Jim Norton said as well.
Yeah,
yes.
Yeah.
They're into putting in the work. We were into we just want to be funny, and then we want to party,
right,
and then hope to get a TV series.
Right. And look, everyone wasn't like that.
It was that cut and dry, though. No, I mean, back then.
No, but it's like Seinfeld worked hard.
Well, no, but that's not that. He doesn't count because he didn't used to party.
Right.
He's no fun. He worked very hard and deserved what he got, but that's no fun,
But his point is that he feels like a lot of his success was based on not only just his, he had a certain comedy lens that allowed him to see the world in a skew way that was just beautiful, but that it was his work ethic. That he feels
his work ethic is sick. It's not even fair to anybody else.
But I'm saying the younger comedians you're talking about, I feel like they at least understand, like, oh, that's a component to this, as opposed to just what happened on stage and then like I'm getting drunk every night.
Yeah,
because you do get free drinks when you do stand up.
You'd think most of the time you're supposed to.
Oh yeah. Good question. So I didn't mean to dodge it, but
No, it's okay. But you're going to be asked about this often because you can't write a book called The History of Stand-Up Comic, have Dave Chappelle's name in the book, and not be asked that. So
right. That's true.
Better be ready, I guess.
I am ready. Yeah.
What do you think of the Alec Baldwin thing? I can't believe there's a poster behind me of him.
Oh wow.
I have the Beetlejuice poster on.
I don't know. I'm going to withhold comment on that until I get more information on exactly.
Isn't it interesting how Brian Laundrie his remains were discovered, so now we can all move on and talk about the Alec Baldwin thing. There's always something fun to discuss. Yeah, that's a messed up thing. I had a theory that this woman is from the Ukraine. She was an investigative journalist. I think there's foul play involved. It's just a theory. We're all coming up with our own theories.
I just don't understand. Yes, I don't understand how a live round of ammunition could be anywhere near that set or that gun.
Yeah, well, and remember, you've heard the cast or the crew left because they're like, this is a very unsafe environment.
I understand, but no one left because they're shooting real bullets out of the gun and then putting in blanks. No one left because of that.
There was a journalist today had said, if Alec Baldwin, if the scene called for him to put the gun to his head and fire, he would have definitely checked to make sure there was no,
well, you're making an assumption. Okay.
Well, that's what this lady said. I did not say it. It was from the paper today. Well, let me show you the paper. Mike, can you put up the picture from the Post I sent you today? Wait, this is the paper I'm reading. Now, this is what they did. The reason I get the Post is because they have these pictures.
Is that page 6?
But look, no, it's not even page 6. This is like page 3. And right underneath, strap hanger shot, stick up in Union Square. But above it, it's just a picture of a model on the beach. This is the paper.
That's not just a model. That's Nicole, right?
Yes. How did you know that? Look at you.
I know Nicole.
Yeah, I just think it's funny that I get, and Sarah Silverman always says, stop reading the Post. And I'm like, but there's always a picture of a pretty girl. And she's like, you're so pathetic. And I go, yeah, but sometimes they have pictures of you. And she's like, oh, well, then I can see why you would get that. All right, why don't we do the picks? If you're okay with that.
Yeah, of course. Of course.
I'm very excited.
I
love doing the picks. All right, I will share my screen again. I assume you can see these, right?
Yeah. Okay. Let me do the. So the first. Oh, wow. Hold on. Oh, yeah. I got it. I have my own line here. Yeah.
All right. Yeah, I can see everybody's. I want to make sure I can see the chat room as well. Everybody can see the picks for week 8.
Well, this Thursday night game is going to be insane, right?
I think it could be the best game of the week.
Yeah.
So what I did, when you can see, I have the Cardinals at -3, but it's red because that line went all the way up to -6. That was the opening line. It went up 3 points with the Cardinals being undefeated. And the Packers.
And now do I pick the line or the guy?
Yeah, we're picking the line. So you have to choose. The Cardinals are favored by 6 over the Green Bay Packers, have only lost 1 game. So this is a great Thursday night matchup in Arizona.
I know.
Do you want to pick first, or should I pick?
I'd like to pick first on this.
Please.
This is, of course, I'm always into the arenas. This is at State Farm Arena in Arizona.
That's what it's called? I didn't
huge,
even know that.
Huge insurance company. Like a good neighbor. You know the rest of it,
I
right?
do.
Yeah.
Barry Manilow wrote that.
I'm gonna go with Green Bay covering.
I know, right? It seems so obvious if you're Green Bay +6. But the Cardinals are playing so well. They went on the road. They beat the Rams on the road. It wasn't even a game.
I don't know.
Really tough one.
I don't like that pick after what you just said. I don't
Sorry.
know.
I gotta go. Mike, what do you think?
I'm gonna go Cardinals just to.
Yeah, Mike's probably right.
I never bet against the Cardinals at home usually, but
because of State Farm insurance.
Yes, exactly. The audiences they got 2 different ones. I see 2 Green Bays and 1 Pack and 1 Cardinals. I don't know what to pick here. It's hard to bet against an undefeated team, but Green Bay is really good, obviously. I'm gonna go.
I feel like
go Arizona.
Yeah, that's probably right. I don't love my pick, but you got to throw a couple out there.
I'm gonna take the points. So Mike, what is the consensus of the chat
overall?
room?
They're Green Bay.
Overall, Green Bay. Pretty much, we have to
really.
Yeah.
Okay.
Apparently, and they
thanks Peanuts. Thanks Peanuts.
Killed it last week.
Yeah, I saw.
Okay, I got look at this line's ridiculous. It went from 3.5 to 10.5. I got no problem picking the Bengals over the stupid Jets. I don't care if Joe Flacco's playing or Mike White. Oh my God, they're gonna kill him. It's gonna be an embarrassment. Wayne.
Also, another insurance company, MetLife, right?
Ooh, you're right. It's interesting.
I'm also going to go with the Bangs.
How could you pick the Jets?
I don't know.
Meanwhile, the guy Mike White was the only one. He scored touchdowns when he took over, but it certainly wasn't enough. You got to blame the defense as well.
And
but
he just wrote and directed that HBO series, right?
Mike, what do you think?
I'm gonna go Bengals. Marcy always picks the Bengals too.
Of course, she is from Kentucky on the border of Cincinnati. So yes, that's her team. I got no problem here either. I know the Colts are playing very well, but the Titans are on another level. Taking the Titans -1.5. It's a pick 'em game, even though they're on the road. Titans they're playing unbelievable. Wayne.
Yeah, I'm going to agree with you. That's at Lucas Oil Stadium or whatever the name of that.
How do you
place
know
is.
the name of the stadium?
I love stadiums. I love stadiums.
That's so funny.
I'm more of an NBA guy. You know that, right?
I didn't know that. I wasn't sure. I forgot.
Yeah.
sometimes.
Oh, I've been into the top 75. That's been my focus for the last week and a half.
So, what's your favorite team? Clippers or Lakers?
Interesting. I don't have a team. I just like the association.
Really?
It's not even a league. It's an association, just so you know.
Oh.
The NBA. It's not that.
But and you also like the WNBA. That was shocking.
I like associations.
That's so weird. I've known Sam Morril sometimes goes to the WNBA. He likes
He does?
basketball the way you do a lot of any.
I've been to a
kind.
finals game. Yeah, I love it.
But you don't have a favorite team. That's fascinating. Mike, what do you think?
No, I like players. I like players.
Colts and Tennessee.
Well, they're saying Tennessee. I'm gonna go with Colts just to be different.
Oh, okay. I like it.
Smart move. Wayne, what do you think of this Kyrie thing? Kyrie Irving.
Well, I like, I like that he's making a stand. I don't agree with him, but he's not playing, and that's the one thing he does best in the world. So I guess I'm on that side a little bit.
What do you say though? You say trade him because of the distraction, or you wait it out?
I would wait it out until New Jersey drops their indoor restrictions.
No, it's New York, and that's what I was just going to say. Once De Blasio leaves office in January, that maybe everything will change.
Right. The All-Star game's not till February, so yeah, that's what I would.
Was the All-Star game at Barclays?
No. Where is the All-Star?
What the hell did you bring that up for? How's the matter?
No, I'm just saying it's like that's halfway through the season. I'm sorry,
Right.
That was stupid to say. That was stupid.
Well, so I guess other
Thanks
teams
for bringing-
can't come to New York and play either if they're unvaccinated, right? Anybody that comes to New York cannot play if they're unvaccinated,
right?
But he can go play when they're on the road. Is that correct?
That is correct. I think it's just New York and New Jersey, or it's just New York, right? It's just New York and Brooklyn, right?
I thought LA doesn't have that mandate.
I don't think so.
I just assumed they would. It's probably just De Blasio, who everybody hates. This guy has visions of running for governor. He has no idea how much people dislike him. It's weird.
Really?
Yeah, we just did a thing on Columbus Day talking. He ended up at the parade, and the people who put the parade were like, we didn't even invite him. He just showed up. People hate him. They hate him. He's awful. He's a really bad mayor.
Job.
And
Come on, you got to admit that's a tough job.
Oh, it's a very tough job. But I said, like David Dinkins was bad mayor, but a great guy. So I thought maybe he's a great guy, but people who I know that know him and are in that thing, they say he's awful, like even as a person. So
that's really surprising. Okay.
Okay. This is the LA Rams. I don't know what happened with Detroit. Maybe it had something to do with Stafford and Goff.
Right. This is, together. I don't know this company. It's NRG Stadium. Does anyone know what that means?
I don't know, but I love it though. Mike, you must know. You're from Texas.
What does that mean, Mike?
What does what mean again?
NRG Stadium. What is that? What do they do?
Oh, I have no idea. I'm assuming they're an energy company.
We go to you.
That sounds right.
Texas.
That's got to be an energy company. Yeah.
Oh, that makes
maybe
sense.
They make
right.
drill
NRG.
bits or help with fracking or something. That would be my guess.
Right.
That would be my guess.
Or help not taking vaccines.
These are the hardest games. What is your strategy when it's that much of a
spread?
That much of a favorite?
Well, my strategy had always been you take the underdog, but this year, forget it. The Rams were the only ones that didn't cover the big spread. And that's why I'm saying I think they'll cover. I mean, what did Texas score? 5? They scored 5. They were embarrassed by the Cardinals last week. I am taking the spread, which I never would have done any other year. But this year, those big spreads are being covered, except last week by LA and Detroit. But I have no problem. Texas scored 5 over Arizona last week. They're in disarray, Texas, because of Deshaun Watson and all that stuff.
And because of the NRG, right?
Clearly. You can't play at a stadium name that when you have no idea what they do.
They are an energy company, and they're also one of the companies
there we go,
that caused the Texas freeze last year.
So. Oh, really?
Boy, they really are in disarray. For
that reason alone, I'm going to go with LA.
You're going to go with LA. You live
Thank
in
you,
LA.
Mike.
It's the right thing to do. Yes. Thank you, Mike. Mike, what are you going to pick?
I'm going to pick LA. Houston stinks.
But it would have been funnier if you're like, with all that, I think I'll pick Houston.
Yeah.
That's the comedy way to do it, of course.
Right.
It looks like, is everybody picking the Rams?
They're going Rams. Baruch thinks the points are going to go to Texans, but I mean, everyone else is going Rams. So
Yeah, and clearly Marcy knows what she's doing. So, and we didn't choose one of her games last week. She would have won another one.
Yeah.
So yeah, and you'll notice, Baruch, that once Marcy came, you guys started doing much better. So let's just say that. This is Cleveland. Who is Baker Mayfield playing? I don't know whether he's still out against Pittsburgh. Cleveland somehow won last week. Who were they playing? It was somebody. Oh, Denver. They beat it out on Thursday night game. A really horrible game. I just don't know if Baker Mayfield is playing. If Baker Mayfield's playing, I would go Cleveland. Mike, do you know?
I don't know myself.
Yeah. So I'm going to take Ben Roethlisberger plus the points but obviously I would change my bet if I found out Baker Mayfield playing. If anybody in the chat room knows if Baker Mayfield is playing, let us know. And we'd switch that up. Wayne, what do you think?
Well, again, anything can happen at First Energy Stadium. So I'm going to
Wait,
go.
the Browns one's called First Energy Stadium?
Yeah, Cleveland.
How the hell do you fucking know that?
They used to be Second Energy, but in the last few years, they've just stepped it up.
Well, now that the Browns are better, right?
Yeah. I'm going to go with the Browns. I'm going to go with that team is there's no way I'm going to win this bet, but there's something about the Browns. And maybe, like you said, make Baker.
Oh, if he's playing, then I'm all in. Mike, what do you think?
They're saying he's unlikely to play, but still haven't said for sure. But I still like the Browns.
And looks like Marcy likes the Browns, but Aunt Judy likes the Steelers. It's hard not to go. Well, I think we're going to go with Marcy until we realize that
Baruch is breaking the tie.
Oh, he's going to go Browns
We got to go. We got two.
I see. Oh, it's interesting.
Go Pittsburgh.
Yeah, I think you're right about that one, David. I like your instincts on that.
Oh, Anonymous has Browns. Now I don't know. Now it's 2-2.
Oh, okay, yeah. Anonymous. Thank you.
Well,
thanks for the.
Oh, right.
We did Marcy's last time. Let's do Baruch's this time.
Okay, you know where Detroit plays, right?
Ford Field.
Yes, there you go. Look, you're part of this. Okay.
Oh God, Detroit. It's just so sad. About a couple weeks ago,
how many games have they won? Have they won any?
None.
So
they're due to win a game. But Philadelphia hasn't been playing very well, but they do play okay. This could be a game that Detroit could win. Wayne, you go first on this one.
I'm definitely going Detroit. This is the week. This is the week. Yeah, especially at Ford Field. You think of the Model T, you think of the Mustang.
I mean, they played the Rams close, but remember there was a backstory there. So, Mike, what do you think?
I want to go Eagles.
Yeah, Marcy's going Lions. We didn't take her pick before, so I'm sorry. I'm going to go Lions with Marcy.
Even you are? Okay.
Philadelphia. But for me,
it's a tough one. These are tough.
I'm going to go. Crap.
Again, Ford Field.
All right, I'll go Lions. I'll take the points. I'm taking the points. I still say the Eagles will win by 3, and I'm taking that hook.
The crowd picked Eagles, by the way.
Really, most of them picked Eagles.
Yeah,
should I change it?
Yeah, it was 3-1.
Change it. Yeah, if you want.
I gotta change it.
Okay,
gotta go with the consensus. All right, here are the Bears that I hate. The Contender app. I'm sorry, they're playing horribly. They got annihilated by the Buccaneers. That was the game I picked to cover the spread last week.
Oh, really?
And
okay.
Tom Brady just blew them out of the water. San Francisco played absolutely good, but they were in a driving rain. I thought they were good. The Colts somehow beat them. I'm going to take San Francisco. Damn it. You know what? I don't know. Why would they win by 3.5? They're not that good, even though the Bears are bad, but they seem to play better at home.
And you know their stadium, of course. It's been that way for
Soldier Field?
Yeah.
It's still Soldier Field. I thought they got a new stadium, but they still named it.
No, they
Soldier
want
Field.
to. They want to.
Oh, all right, Wayne, you go first. I can't decide.
I'm going to go with the home team. I'm going to go with
You're going to go the home team plus the points.
Yeah, with the points.
Yeah, Mike.
I'm going to go Bears as well.
Oh, Mike, thank you, brother.
Yeah, everybody's going. All right, I'll go Bears too. Yeah, you got to take the points. San Francisco. I mean, I liked them, but I knew the Colts would take the points last week with the Colts. Garoppolo he's right there, but there's something wrong with him, and he's always injured. So
I know. I really thought it would be
And Justin
He has
Fields
the
plays
look too.
He doesn't play bad, but if you're playing against Tom Brady, you're going to lose if you're a rookie. So
you don't have to yell at me. I get it.
Oh, another in a shitbag array of games. My God, the Falcons. Last week, Wayne, I said the Falcons versus the Dolphins, the shitbag game of the week. They're favored by 2.5 points, the Falcons. So I hopped on that because I'm like, I'm good with
And
that.
they won by 2, right?
They won by 2. You
Yeah, I
got to
remember
be
that.
kidding me. So
Last
how can I take the -3? But the Panthers are equally as bad. They lost to the Giants. Sam Darnold stinks. Or maybe he just had problems in Giant Stadium or whatever, the MetLife Stadium, because he hated being a Jet there. They're just all bad.
Well, I'm going to go first.
Please do.
They're playing, of course, in Mercedes-Benz Stadium, another car company.
I'm sorry. Every time it still fools me. You're not looking it up, right? You just know.
No, I am looking.
Son of a bitch.
That's okay. I don't know all of them, but they're
funny.
Yeah, I'm going to go with the Falcons. I'm going to go with the cover.
All right, Mike.
I like Ryan
Falcons as well.
You with the Falcons as well.
Mike.
Yeah. Yeah. You know what? I'll go with the Falcons at home. In fact, I got no problem that they're home. Last week they were on the road. I think they were in Miami, and Miami came back. Remember, they covered that spread right at the end. It was ridiculous. What do we got in the chat room? I can't tell, Mike.
Oh, Falcons by a lot.
By a lot. Okay. I was just automatically going to pick the Bills. The Bills are coming off a bye week. We know the Dolphins really stink. Yeah, 13.5. Bills definitely by 2 touchdowns. Absolutely. Why would it be otherwise?
Of course. I'm going to agree with. I love that team. They could win by 10 points, and it would.
Well, remember they're coming off a loss to the Titans and the bye week. A devastating loss to the Titans.
Yeah.
So I think they pile on this week because they are that good.
Yeah, they're good at Highmark Stadium. By the way, I don't know what does that company do, Mike.
Mike, have it ready.
What do you think it is? Do you think it's insurance, Highmark?
Well, everything else seems to be so.
No, it's so far it's oil, insurance, and cars, right?
Right. Well, the Ford Field, does that even count? Because of course, if Ford didn't buy that, then what would they be? That's all they got left. What do you say, Mike?
Their health insurance.
Health insurance.
Insurance, of course.
No
Mike, wonder my copay is so high. I get it.
Mike, what are you picking?
I'm picking Bills.
Yep, I see Aunt Judy's picking Bills. What else? Everybody
They're Bills overall.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. Oh, Brooks picking the Dolphins. Well, if the consensus is, of course, the Bills. Okay, the Chargers also coming off a devastating loss to the Ravens, then having a bye week. The question, I guess, are the Patriots that good to even keep up with the Chargers? Oh, they beat up on the Jets. You know what? I'm going to take the Chargers minus the 5.5. I say they win by 7. The Patriots aren't that
That's
great.
a local game. That's right here in my backyard, SoFi Stadium. Yes.
Oh, really? Yeah. Have you been there yet?
No, I've only been outside.
Would you please explain to us why they had to stop the game because of lightning if there's an indoor stadium? Are you able to explain that to us?
I think it's a retractable roof, right?
Yeah, but the roof was closed.
I think. I don't know. That's LA. It's like I don't know if you've ever been out here, but when it rains,
Of course I have.
people just pull off on the side of the road.
It wasn't raining. It was just lightning. It was like weird.
Oh,
I understand what you're saying about when it rains. I know how bad it is. I have been, unfortunately, I've done shows there and it rained. I'll never forget. Gary Shandling came. It was a big night and the show just bombed because it was raining. And people just, like you said, they get confused.
They just get baffled by it.
Oh, because the next night we did the same show and it killed. But that rain will throw everybody. They're just not ready for it. Yeah, I get that.
I to tell you the truth, I don't know. I do know that lightning was intense that night. It was.
But this is a dome stadium.
I know. Maybe it's not grounded. That's my guess.
Okay. So what are you picking here?
I'm going to pick the homer. I'm going to pick the home team.
Yeah. I mean, I think they're angry and they're mad, and the Patriots beat up on the Jets. Well, good for you. Now you're going to get a lesson in respect. Mike?
Right.
I'm going to say the Chargers as well. They are.
Yeah, everybody's picking the Patriots, huh?
They are split.
What did Marcy say? We'll give her a break
Marcy
this
said the
week.
Chargers.
We'll go with Marcy when there's a split because we didn't do that last week for her. Okay. Seattle. Okay, so we're assuming Russell Wilson is still not playing?
Yeah. Oh, and SoFi is a finance company.
Oh yeah. I'm sorry.
Well,
Very
he
good.
had to have known that one at least.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah,
he just
yeah.
said it's in his backyard. So all right. There's no okay. That you know how I hate Geno Smith, Mike. I mean, I know you know. Geno Smith stinks. He'll always ruin at the end of the game. So I wish it was only 3, but I don't know if he's if Russell Wilson's coming back, it's not even a question. The half bothers me. Wayne, what do you think? I feel like Russell Wilson is still out maybe another week.
He is.
I would say why bring him back when you're playing a team that's only won one game anyway? Wait for a bigger game. Let him rest one more week. So I think they think they can beat the Jaguars.
Right?
Yeah.
And what is the Jaguars record? I'm sorry. Again, I've been following.
They've won one game. I think they're 1-5 or 1-4.
And Seattle's won 2 or 3?
Yeah, they lost last night, so they're coming off a short week as well. And Jacksonville's coming off a bye. So I don't know if that factors into it and going across the country.
All right, I'm still going to go with Seattle.
I feel like you have to, but I don't know.
I don't know.
Their defense isn't what it was. Mike, what do you think?
I'm going to go with Seattle. I didn't last week, and I regret it.
No, why? The Saints beat the Seattle last week.
Or
you're talking about 2 weeks ago?
No, last week. Look at the chart. I didn't.
No, Monday. If you picked you picked Seattle last week or this week and you lost, I was the only one to pick the Saints.
No, it's the other way around.
Are you sure? Do you have the picture? What does it say? I can't see it.
You picked Seattle, and everyone else picked the Saints.
Oh, right. Wait. That's right. Seattle covered.
Yeah.
Right. Sorry. I got it mixed up. Right. They covered even though they lost the game. That's where I got confused. Sorry about that.
Yeah.
Right. So you're not right. You're not falling for that again. All right. What does the chat room say?
Seattle.
Really?
Should I do what I did last week? No, I can't take the Jags. How do you take a one win? Well, I think Seattle's only won 2, so I don't know what the difference is. And this one, oh my God, these are really bad games. Thursday night, like you said, Wayne, is the best one of all.
Yeah, that game is incredible.
Denver against a really bad, unfortunately, Washington team. Sorry, contender folks. Oh boy, they're both bad. How do you take Washington?
I am. I'm taking Washington.
You are taking Washington.
Yeah. Just because I'm a homer. That's my team. That's my team.
It is?
Yeah.
Wait, Washington is your team?
Yeah.
I thought you said you don't have teams.
No, for basketball, you asked me.
So why are you from DC?
I grew up I lived in Silver Spring for a portion of my childhood. So I've remained the entire time.
Were you upset that they changed the team name, or were you like this should have been done a long time ago? Or
I actually like this name. I don't want them to come up with the nickname.
Interesting.
I just want them to be the Washington football team, and people are like, "Why don't they have a name?" And then go, "Wait till you hear this story."
I like that too.
Mike, or if they were going to go, no, I can't do that joke.
It's all right.
That's all right. That's sorry. I just yeah. I don't know. I can't imagine Washington's going to win this, but they might be playing for draft picks at this time.
Oh, that's true. Mike, what do you think?
I think Denver.
You like Denver too? And what is the chat room saying?
They're going Denver as well.
I'm all alone on that. By the way, Empower Field, I assume another energy company.
Oh, that's
a self-help book.
I liked Mile High Stadium. That was amazing. I thought I can't stand when they change it when it's really great.
Oh, come on, man.
When it's a good stadium name,
Yeah.
All right. So the Saints somehow won last night, and they played horribly, but I knew they weren't going to, cover a 5.5 point spread on the road in Seattle. And here we are with Tampa Bay. It's a divisional game. I don't see this
Can't
happening
go
in
against
Tampa Bay,
Brady,
right?
right? You can't go against Brady.
No, he's
At
playing like he's 22.
yeah, especially at Caesars Superdome. He plays great in that arena.
So you are going to Tampa Bay, Mike. I
Yeah,
assume Tampa Bay. Can I just put it down for you, or are you going to go the opposite of everybody else on
Yeah,
purpose?
I can't see them not doing it.
And the chat room, I assume, is going Tampa. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. If Drew Brees was playing, different story, obviously. I got no problem here too. Cowboys off a bye week. Minnesota, I guess, also off a bye week. Minnesota's playing okay, but Cowboys are playing. They're on fire. Oh, although I think there's a problem with Dak Prescott, but I think he's playing. But they're playing on. They're on fire. Even their defense is good.
I'm with you. I'm with the. Yep. I'm with the and they're my arch rival, but they are playing really well.
Right, they are your arch rival. Mike, what do you think?
I'm gonna go Cowboys.
You just have to win by 3.
Yeah,
just a field goal, and I could see it coming down to that. Maybe the Vikings playing very good, but the Cowboys are on another level, I think, unless Dak Prescott is hurt. So, what does the chat room say?
Right now they're going. They're tied, and then Dallas. Okay, yeah, Dallas.
Okay,
Dallas is here, and finally Monday night. The Giants
GEH Field, GEHA Field. Yeah,
is that what it's called?
Again, I don't know what that stands for.
Well, this line was bigger. It went down because Kansas City got pummeled last week.
Yeah,
something is wrong with Pat Mahomes, obviously.
Right.
So the Giants, beat the Panthers. Oh, good for you! You beat Sam Darnold, and now their gift is they get to go to Kansas City. So the question is, does Pat Mahomes and Kansas City take it out on the Giants, or do the Giants make a game of it? It's hard to take the 10. I don't know, Wayne. What do you think?
Everything in my. This is the hardest pick of the week by far for me.
You think you might be right? I'm going back.
This is so difficult because I feel like the Giants might be finding something. And Kansas City is reeling, like they just can't get it together. What are their records?
The Giants have won 2 now.
3? Oh, 2?
Just 2. And
2 and 5?
Actually, I think the Kansas City's only won 2 also.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, it's really tough.
I don't know. This is the one where can I wait and to hear what you guys say?
Yeah.
Just to kind of.
You know what?
Sorry,
As I've been thinking
Mike,
about it, I'm going to take the Giants and the points, and I hate myself for doing because all I want to do is see them kill the Giants. But I'm going to take the points. Mike, what do you think?
I'm still going to go Kansas City.
You're going to go Kansas City. What does the chat room say?
They're saying Kansas overall. Yeah.
Yeah, I took the Giants. Wayne, it's time.
Yeah, I'm going to go with, this is the ask the audience part of, Who Wants to Be a Millionaire.
Talk to the audience. This is always death.
Yeah, I'm going to go to Kansas City as well. Even though I actually think Giants are going to do this. So,
you think they're going to win?
No, I think they're going to cover that. But I can't, the Giants, come on.
Well, there it is, everybody.
That was it.
That's the for this week. Really, well, I guess we have plenty of time. I want to.
Mike, did you find out what GEHA stands for?
Find out.
Now, he's got to do stuff at this time. He's got another show.
Oh, he does? Oh, okay. Sorry, Mike.
No, he's still. I just know. I know you're busy at this time, but I'm going to share the screen again.
Medical and dental plans.
What? Say it again.
They provide medical and dental plans.
Love it.
Yay. I'm glad we waited for that.
Guess what? No Toys R Us stadium, no toy company. You would think Amazon could own every stadium, right? Wouldn't that be the best?
I agree.
Like
I'm sharing my screen once again because I want to show you a couple things before we leave.
Okay. What time do we have to get out at 5 or
at exactly 7:54?
Okay, I got it. Love it.
So So Mike, I have the screen up. I'm sharing if you can. Thank you. I assume you can see this.
Yeah, that's Harrison Ford, right?
Yeah, it's Harrison Ford. I mean, I want to get through this because I want to show you something that I put together for you, particularly that I think you'll like. But I had this show because he was in Italy. He lost his credit card, and like the police force tracked him down and gave it back to him. And it's funny because, when you lose something and somebody returns it, you give them $20, give them $50. They're like, oh, we just want a photo. But I've never seen Harrison Ford smile before. That's why I like the picture.
Wow,
I've never seen him smile so angry.
He smiles at Princess Leia. I do like the shorts though, or pants, or whatever he's wearing.
I like those pants. It looks like
I'm having a grand. I'm just looking at them. It gives me a grand mal seizure.
Did you see this movie in a
Yes,
premiere?
Not the premiere, but a private screen. That's the DGA, my favorite, maybe my favorite theater in Los Angeles.
I've been afraid to go to the theater, and I'm dying to see it. How was the movie? We're talking about No Time to Die, the new James Bond film. Wayne got to see it.
Yeah.
Are you a James Bond fan?
It was good.
Are you a James
Let me
Bond
just
fan?
put it to it was. This is what I didn't like about them. There was too much gunplay. Like machine. He was like machine gunning people down. It was like it was like a Call of Duty first-person shooter thing. I was like, that's not what James Bond is. He's like he's smart and thing, and he's got a little pistol. Like I don't know.
A PPK, Walter PPK. That's what it's called.
I don't know.
That's the legendary one.
I've seen them all. I haven't seen them all, but I saw Dr. No like in the theater when it was re-released in
re-released. I was going to say, what the hell is about? What are you talking about?
No, I saw Dr. No in the theater. I saw all the other I'm a Bond fan, so I like.
No, me too. I'm a huge Bond fan, so I started with the Spy Who Loved Me. I mean, I've seen them all now.
Right.
My first one to see in the theater was.
Yeah, I'm a little older than you. I'm a little older. Yeah.
I only put this up because it's happening next week. I have Amy Yazbek on next week. She does this thing during the marathon for the Ritter Run. And here is Wayne in 1985 running the New York City Marathon. You look amazing.
That poor guy Lee. I just completely. I was like, I knew where my camera was. That's for sure.
He looks like Keith Hernandez. There is that your friend?
No, I had no idea who that guy. But we were racing right at the end. There was like a little thing. He might have that. Yeah, the three of us were just because you're so exhausted.
Yeah, I bet.
3 hours, 15 minutes, 13 seconds. I'll never forget.
Very impressive. So you posted this picture.
5 hours, 13
5
minutes.
hours. No, I knew that. I was trying to be
It's not
polite.
33 hours.
I knew it was 5 hours. I saw you post that. But I was like, well, whatever he wants to think.
No. I would never. 3 hours. That would be like a record.
Yeah. So you posted. I've known this picture. This is Annie Hall. A scene that was cut from Annie Hall. It's Woody Allen and Brooke Shields together. Yeah. And I got to kind of go through this a little quickly. But yeah, Brooke Shields, they cut this scene. Looks gorgeous. I'm just putting up because this is the kid they hired to play young Woody Allen. You remember the scene with Joey Nichols. His name is Jonathan Monk.
Oh.
And of course, he had a huge crush on Brooke Shields. Why wouldn't he? And he was that was supposed to be his girlfriend in the movie, which was cut out of Annie Hall. And so he had a huge crush on her, and he got an autograph photo, which was this one.
Okay.
I swear to God, she gave him this photo, and his mother saw it, and he goes, "What the hell is this?" Because it totally looks like child porn. But we all know that Brooke Shields used to do this stuff and was in the movie and stuff like that. So it's just kind of funny to bring this home to your mom and be like, "Yeah, this is a girl I like," But
right. She looks like Veronica Lake. It's like, it's amazing.
It's amazing. But look at this. I found this. This is a call sheet for Annie Hall for that kid and Brooke Shields for Thanksgiving play, which wasn't in the movie. It was the Jonathan Monk's sister put it online, and Brooke Shields was playing Judy Horowitz. And isn't that cool?
Oh
it was
God, give me a second. I'm just looking. They shot.
I'll send it to you. I'll send it to you so you can see it because I could look at this for hours.
Little Alvy. Oh my God.
Friday, May 14th, 1976. A scene that was cut from the movie.
Please send me that.
I will, I promise. And so this is that same scene. This is my friend Wayne, this little girl right here.
Yeah.
Her name was Champagne. We were friends for 30 years. And she's in the goddamn Annie Hall movie. She grew up to unfortunately look like this on the right. But the thing is, and that's Mira Sorvino, who was her best friend. And the three of us put together this fundraiser for her. She unfortunately died. She was a great woman.
Right.
And me and Mira Sorvino and Champagne, this is me at that same fundraiser with Champagne. But here's the best photo. This is Champagne at one of my shows. and here is my mother in the background disapproving that I know someone that looks like this.
Oh my God.
And that's my sister with the same look inside the picture.
Oh, you don't know if that's what
Awesome.
that.
Yes, it is. No, they've
That's
told me.
incredible. I love. Thank you for sharing this.
You're welcome. I thought you might like it. Here is your book, The History of Stand-Up, from Mark Twain to Dave Chappelle. And then you have a companion podcast that goes with it.
Yeah. There's a we're going to be making our third season over the next couple months, so that'll probably be out in January or February.
Great. And that's why I was like, this is what this from vaudeville to Netflix. This is the podcast.
Yeah, that probably should have been the name of the book. I didn't know that Dave would be so controversial.
Yeah, I know, but it's what a great name, from vaudeville to Netflix. I know it turns out it wasn't like that, but boy,
right.
Great cover.
Thanks, man.
Great.
Thanks,
everything.
man.
I really like it. Yeah.
Thanks for showing all that. I appreciate it.
Oh, you're welcome. Did I stop the share? Is everybody okay?
Yeah. We're still. I know we have 3 minutes. I'm looking at the clock.
Yeah, no, I gotta let you go, and I just appreciate it so much. Are you playing anywhere besides the stuff of the book?
I'm actually going to be in Washington. This is live, so I'm going to be in Washington D.C. this weekend at.
Oh,
I don't know what the name of the temple is. Oh my God,
Israel, Emmanuel.
No, it's in D.C. It's but. I'm going to be signing books at 10:30 on Sunday on Halloween. They're flying me in, and I'm going to probably do a set at the Improv on Saturday night, but we'll see.
Oh,
That's
I used
all.
to love that DC Improv. That was a party place. Oh my goodness. Remember that back in the day?
Of
That was
course.
the best.
I love one of my favorite rooms in the whole city. By the way, I just wanted to say that, again, this whole last 2 weeks, I've been following the NBA's top 75. So maybe we can do a whole episode about that when the season's over.
Okay. Well, thank you so much for coming on for 2 hours. It was awesome. I was so glad you were able to do it.
Thrilled. I obviously have nothing to do.
Yeah, you're the best, Wayne. Thank you so
All
much
right,
for
thank you,
coming
David.
on. Wayne Federman, everybody. Yeah, and that does it for today. Let me just tell you, what a great time it was having Wendy and Wayne. Wayne is the best. Wendy's amazing. Obviously, I'm very looking forward to seeing her show on Showtime. That's going to be so cool. I'd like to thank everybody in the chat room. It was way, way cool that you guys were all participating. Next week, in the 6 o'clock hour, Amy Yazbek. This is John Ritter's wife, and she runs this organization to show awareness to what he died of, always during Marathon Sunday. She's amazing. She's still ridiculously pretty. She was in Robin Hood Men in Tights with Dave Chappelle, and obviously from Wings. And then Tom Papa, one of the best comedians you've ever seen. Tom Papa will be making the picks with us on next week that day. So that is a kick-ass show that we have for you next week, as if this one wasn't. Listen, I'm bringing it to you every week. We got Mike Vecchione coming up in the next weeks or so. Gilbert Gottfried, I told you, is going to be coming up, and that'll all be coming up shortly. But I love doing this show. I love bringing it to you. I love everybody in the chat room. It's such a fun time of the year. Happy Halloween, everybody. I hope everybody, if you want to send pictures next week with the costumes, I don't know where you'd send them to, but I don't know. We'll figure it out somehow or some way, somehow. But, thank you, Aaron. He says, great guest. Do spoil us. Yes, the Golden Tee. It's not Dig Dug. It's Pac-Man and Galaga. But thank you for checking. Everybody wants to know. Anyway, we got to go. Good night, everybody.